So, not to bring politics or too much world events into it, but I kind of feel like it's pretty timely, Rabbi. September 10th, the Charlie Kirk assassination. September 11th, right? The next day. So it was kind of a back-to-back day type of thing. And some timely deaths of some pretty prominent pastors and preachers across the country. And a ton of stuff kind of going on, right? Where do you see, especially with the Hebrew month of Cheshvan, how important is this Hebrew month for people listening, people watching to really dive into the teaching, the actual significance? I mean, you've already walked through a little bit of the prophetic significance, but especially with such high emotion and things are really kind of going in one direction, right? Right now, just in the world, but even with a couple of those events that I just mentioned, and especially some of these prominent pastors and preachers passing away, even the past week or two, unexpectedly, right? How important is the Hebrew month of Cheshvan for the direction 5786, and especially trying to finish up the year, let's just say the Gregorian year, right? For people rounding out the rest of the year for themselves.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that a lot of what I'm going to be teaching between now and the end of the year, going to January 1, 2026, is on emotional intelligence. And there's not a lot of teaching biblically or spiritually about the asset of emotional intelligence. I'm blessed because one of my life coaches, Steve Gutzler, that's actually his specialty is emotional intelligence. Now, I'm going to tell you why Cheshvan is so important is because this is a month of a lot of shifting and change, good and bad, like the flood, like finishing the temple, counterfeit temples arising, all those types of things. And in the midst of a lot of change and activity, this is a time where you need to intentionally, on purpose, be walking in the fruit of the Spirit of love, peace, joy, temperance, kindness, long-suffering, of which such there is no law. It's a time to get into intentionality of saying, I'm going to mature emotionally. That's what emotional intelligence, that's basically the thrust of that training. But I can tell you that emotional training is not something that a lot of people are preaching or teaching about. I'm going to into the next year. And one of the reason is because what I have observed, not just in the month of Cheshvan, but what I have observed is when people miss the promotion of the opportunity, usually they will self-destruct because of an emotional trigger that they haven't gotten under their control when the promotion comes. And the enemy knows. The enemy knows where that anger is. People, you need to deal with the woundedness of your past, cut the soul tie with it, and then choose to say, I am not going to react. I'll just use anger or jealousy or strife. I'm not going to do that. And this is a month where emotions are being tested.
Rabbi, I don't think I've quite heard it put that way in terms of the disappointment emotionally from the emotional intelligence. And, that's kind of one thing that, I read a lot into it. I know that, we've done a lot of internal training in terms of emotional leadership along with emotional intelligence. But I've never heard the point to where missing the opportunity, missing the promotion then brings an opposite angle of emotional intelligence into it. So can you speak more into that as people are watching, listening, especially this Hebrew month of Cheshvan, on how they can try to avoid some of those missteps in this current season, in this Hebrew month, as they kind of transition throughout?
Well, I'll just give you one example, but it applies to every type of human emotion, whether it's anger, love, jealousy, strife, or striving. I want to deal with striving. Okay. I'll just prophesy to you. that this is a month of miracles. This is a month, and I'm talking 5786 right now. This is a month of tremendous breakthrough and miracles. And one of the things, I'll just be transparent. One of the things, I am a type A entrepreneurial, prophetic, apostolic leader that happens to be a rabbi, which means teacher. Okay? But I understand who I am. So I understand that I'm type A, which is great. I get stuff done. But also, my biggest warning to Curtis, the type A entrepreneurial, the warning is just because the Lord blessed you, gave you the vision, and gave you the strategy, doesn't mean Curtis now just takes off and runs down the road all on his own. That's called striving. That's called pride. Okay? So I know that about me. And the Lord knows that. The Lord created me. And guess what? The Lord likes me. He's not trying to crush me, but he does, as kind of a racehorse person, he wants to be able to ride and have me stop when he says stop and not go too fast and leave the rest of the ponies behind.